Hello, welcome to another video. So, as you can see, the Voge 800 does not have any wheels or exhaust silencer on at the moment. The wheels are getting the Anless Capra X tyres fitted, which we have mentioned in another video when we had a look at the comparisons there. And the exhaust, we are putting the Scorpion exhaust back on because the GPR is a little bit too long and fouls on the back side there of the luggage rack. So whilst we've got everything accessible like this, we're going to give it a bit of a clean. So we're going to be using the Motoverde or Motoverde products here. Now, we were lucky enough to get this given to us by RBMC store, and they are also giving everybody a 10% discount. So look at the link and code in the description below. So we're just going to give this a bit of a wash and get into the nooks and crannies that we can't normally get at whilst the wheels are in the bike. And we might also have a look at the suspension linkages and get some grease on things because it is dry as a bone. So whilst we're at the back end of the bike, we are going to take some of these dry bolts out. So as we can see, dry as a bone as we expected. So let's just put a squidge in there, squidge on there, squidge on there. Right, that's nice and greased up. Just going to do these one at a time. Now, I can't be arsed talking these up, but I still wouldn't do it with the impact gun because you just never know with that, do you? Which one next? Maybe this one? Tell you what, they're pretty tight. Right, we'll grease in there. And then we'll grease this as well. I never checked that one on the other one, did I? I just took the bolt out and put it back in. Bloody hell. Forgot about this bit. Right. That's greased. And then I've greased this bolt as well. They need to be splayed apart. I'm going to rest this on my head. See what the problem here is. The problem is that is only just too small. Tell you what, we'll take this bottom one off as well whilst we're here then. Right, I must remember how they go on. greased. And greased. So now, if I don't tighten this up yet, right, so the plan is, now that they're loose, they are loose as well. So therefore this should line up with that no problem. When they say use your head, this isn't really what I was foreseeing. But I am lifting the swing arm up with my head so that I can use both hands. So that's two done properly. This one we maybe do again. And then we have this one up here as well. And I think that's all I'm going to do on the swing arm stroke shock. Right, so it's this one up here, is it? That's the one that mounts the shock linkage to the bike. These ones just required a 15mm on this side and a 17mm on the other side. But this one here is going to need a Allen key on that side, and then let's go and have a look on the other side. It's going to need a 17 on the other side. Bloody hell, as tight as that one. Can't get in there, so it's going to have to be with a spanner. Let's get back lying down. I can't see. Oh, I can't do it. How am I going to do that? Right, what about if I have a long extension? Can't get that very easily. So if I put an extension in there, I might be able to. Right, got a wibbly wobbly bit on the end of there, so I can get that in there. And then maybe if I just go to undo that, that'll lock up. Oh, there we go. Now we're farming. I'm just taking the nut off the back of this, and I'm going to make sure my head isn't underneath the swing arm when I knock this one out, because because I don't know what weight is being taken on this. I can hold the swing arm up, can I? Oh, it's not bad, not bad. Right, I'm not going to mess about. I'm just going to put some grease in there. Put it back in. Now I'll tell you what's making this difficult is I want to really be around there, but then I'll be blocking the camera. Ah, so that's why that goes in there like that, so it's perfectly aligned. Right, let's get this nut back on. Oh, that's tight enough. That is tight enough. Right, that's everything greased, so I'm just going to give everything a bit of a wipe now, because that's the thing with greasing, you end up wiping most of it back off. Right, let's give all this a wipe, because if things are greased that we don't want them to be greased, it's only going to attract grit and sand and shite. Right, I'm classing that as done. Next job, put on the back wheel. Cush drives in, spacers in, sprockets all clean. On this side, we have put the spacer in and we've greased that up. So that's ready to go in now. So now it's a case of getting the actual wheel back in. So for this, I'm going to get my spindle at the ready, and I'm going to get this the right way around. Now I'm going to try not to rush this. I'm going to try and get it right first time. But this chain needs to come out on this side here so that we can get it over the sprocket. And on this side, we need to make sure that once we get the tyre past the brake, that the brake caliper stays in its slot. Keep the brake pads as far open as we can to get the tyre to slot. There goes my wheel spacer, look, nearly. So just try and edge this in there, like that. See, it's not a problem, but this chain guide does hinder putting the wheel back on. So that's us there. Now I use my feet for this, so I can hold that in position now. The brake caliper is on and in a good position. This is all lined up. So now it's time. Make sure you've got your spacer on there. Put a bit of Jaja Woo-wah, bit of grease on there. So that's all the way through. Put this spacer, is it? Well, it is a spacer, but it's not a spacer, is it? Put this end plate on there. And that is the wheel in now. So now I'm just going to put this on there. I don't believe it. By doing it all gently and slowly, I managed to do it without the wheel spacers falling out. Tell you what, everything is so much more difficult to hold on to and tighten up once you've got grease all over your hands and tools. Right, so that's all wibbly wobbly. I'm going to be on it just a tiny bit tighter than that. I want to nip this up, but I need to adjust the chain. So I want to be able to undo this bolt, which will pull the whole wheel back. So I want it to be free, but not that free that it's just going to go wherever it wants. Right, that'll do. So now it's chain adjustment time. Wow, wow, wow. And tighten these up. But we'll discuss that later. So now, with your not 12mm, so now with your 10mm, we want to keep winding these out until we get it to touch. Right, that's just touching now, so I'll do the same on this side. Now it's not a given, but I'm on the 4th line. 1, 2, 3, so I'm 4 and a bit on this side. So I've got 4 lines showing completely. So you can never take these lines as gospel. You can measure it, or you can just go by eye down the chain. But we need to be getting this to about 35 to 40mm slack. I'm going to do that with the vernier. In fact, I'm not going to do it with the vernier because that's a silly idea when I could just do it with. So if I go from the center of a pin, so a 10mm, all the way down to the center of the pin, So that's 50 mil there, so that's obviously too slack. Well, we could tell that. I mean, God, it didn't take a genius to work that out. We will need to address these. So as you can see, this is just trial and error. You've got to keep adjusting this and measuring from your swing arm to make sure you've got 35 to 40 mil. So 10 to 45, so that's 35 mil there. Because when the weight's on the bike and the suspension compresses, that will go tighter. And if you were to hit a big jump, not that you would do a big jump on this, but you know what I mean, a big compression, that compression would go up and that would make it even tighter. So you've got to be slack when there's no weight on like this. So I'm going to leave that there for now, and I'm just going to make sure that these are aligned on both sides, and then lock those with your 10 and your 12. So you just adjust these chain adjusters using your 10 mil to wind the bolt out to tighten your chain, or if you want to slacken the chain, wind the bolt in and then bash the wheel forward. But we are bang in line with both at the moment. So I'm going to nip this up. So you need a 13 mil on the front nut and the 10 on the back nut, and then you can just lock that in place like that, and then finish locking this. So that's all right for me for the time being. We'll just leave it at that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is give this chain a good clean. It's a clever idea. It's dripping on me. It's dripping on me.